Hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome to this look at update number 10 coming to Planet Coaster 2 on June 25th. As always, huge thanks to Frontier for letting me take a look at this early and getting a video ready for you today. First of all, this one was not on my bingo cards, but I think it's pretty neat. We're going to be getting Illuminated entertainers. Each of the entertainers in the game are going to have part of their costume or prop light up and become luminescent. It is going to be an option you can turn on or off or only at night time, similar to pretty much every other light in the game, and I think this looks really neat. I think anything that sort of adds a little bit more sort of character and vibrancy to the night times in the game is very welcome. Next up, one I was hoping we would see at some point, the return of Vista points. So these did make it to Planet Coaster 1 in an update, and now they're coming over to Planet Coaster 2. These are really good fun. This is a really nice small footprint, and you can place it down and you can use it to teach your guests that there is something there worth looking at. You can place it down, and then by selecting it, you can then, this is how it works in Planet Coaster 1 anyway, you could then go and select another piece of scenery or a nearby ride or something, and then tell the guests that they can stand by this Vista point, look in the direction where you select, and they will react. Interestingly, it does say that you can select how they react, which I think is new. I don't remember them doing that in Planet Coaster 1. I think I remember them just treating it as like a nice view. Whilst there isn't any sort of look as to what this looks like as part of a UI right now, they do say that you'll be able to select how they react. That is very exciting to me. If there's like a drop-down menu and you can pick, you know, excited, awestruck, scared maybe even, then, you know, that's really going to start to open up some options of what we can do with these things. It's very exciting. And alongside the Vista points, we are getting a new bit of tech called the event point. So very similar footprint, looks similar, just a little column that you're going to place down, but this is going to be similar to the event sequencer in first person mode. And if you've ever tried doing this, but if you set up a triggerable event, you can actually go in first person mode and trigger it yourself. That is basically one of those, but for guests. So guests are going to be able to go over to this, interact with it, and then it will do whatever is then set up: animation, light changes, special effects, all of the stuff that you can currently have going off with an event sequencer. You can now attach it to this event point, and the guests are able to randomly make things go off. Now, this I think is kind of huge, and it's one of those things that right now I can't think of everything you can do with this. There are going to be some very clever folks. I'm thinking about Taggy. I'm thinking about a lot of folks out there who do some really great stuff with the animation pieces, and being able to have it so the guests can trigger some of these. I think that is awesome. So the first thing I'm thinking of is sometimes in parks you get these little buttons that you can press and a little animation goes off. There's somebody who's done quite a few of these as little storybook moments in a fairy tale park, and I cannot for the life of me think who it is. Maybe it's Dutchy. I think it might be Dutchy, but I'm so sorry if I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. I know Mineral has one in Le Jardin Magique where you can press the button, it makes the pigeons go off in the pigeon coop. And so I think that's really great now that you can have the guests actually interact with those. So things like that where you press a button and a little animatronic kicks off in front of you. But also maybe we could tie these into boat wheels and have boats on the lake, so it looks like the guests are actually sort of making the boats drive now. Or water guns that shoot into water rides. You know, a lot of time something like a log flume or a rapids will have an interaction point where they go by a path, and you can usually put like a quarter in the machine, and it gives you a few seconds of water to spray at people. All of those we could technically do already with animations. They look nice, but now you're going to have the ability for the guests to go over and actually sort of procedurally make them happen as they're walking around the park. I think this is really exciting, and I'm very excited to see what people come up with. Next up is the ability for tracks to intersect properly with paths. This is very exciting. This is a really great addition. So all of your transport tracks, I think it is limited to the transport rides as well, which makes sense. You're kind of a roller coaster bombing it past people. But the transport rides will now intersect with the pathing, and it not only just, because at the moment I think you can turn collision off and make them go through the path, and it just kind of works. But now it's actually implemented into the game so that the path splits apart. It has a little bit of sort of pathing, a special pathing down down and little no entry signs or caution signs, I suppose, and the guests themselves will actually wait now. If a train is coming, they will wait and stand for it to go past. You could tie this in with the event sequencer and the track points, so as that little barriers come down as the train goes by. You're definitely going to be able to do that. So this is a really great addition for transport rides throughout a park. You're going to be able to, again, just we'll keep talking about this with Planet Coaster, just moments where the guests do something that isn't a ride, or moments where the rides and the guests sort of interact, I think are really fantastic, and there's just loads of them here. Between the Vista points and the event points and the tracks on path, there's just going to be a lot more movement and kinetic energy happening in parks, and it's really exciting to see. Next up is a little bit of scenery. I imagine most of the scenery is going to be included in the DLC, obviously, all sort of wrapped together as a theme. But we are getting some celebration theming, and it's the return of some bunting and the confetti cannon, which I do think we had in the original game. I think we actually got it as part of like a Independence Day pack, like a July 4th pack with like big inflatable eagles and stuff. I'm sure that's not a weird dream that I had. There's three types of bunting. There's a plain coloured one, there's one with little stars on, and then there's one that's a little bit like some of the Western bunting we have with the curves and the red and blue white stripes. I'm pretty sure all these are recolorable, and they also come in a few different varieties. There's a straight one, a sort of sagging one, and then a curved one that actually sort of wraps around a curve on the other plane, so you can have it going around towers and stuff. I think the bunting is very useful. There's a lot of times these come in use not just for like a celebration or a parade thing. I think these can often just add a nice little bit of detail in lots of different styles. The confetti cannon I can't really see myself using personally, but the bunting is a very welcome addition. A couple of new souvenirs are being added to Just a Memento. These flags featuring the various different characters and awesome light up wands. These are fantastic. You see these all across theme parks, low budget, high budget, they all have these. My son has one of these in his room that cost me like $50 last time we went to Disney. It blowed bubbles for about 5 minutes and then broke. These things are a staple of theme park design. I'm really happy to see them come to the game. No mention of these, whether or not they can be included in the modular gift shops or whether they're just options from Just a Memento. From what I can tell, it does seem to be that Just a Memento sells things that the guests will hold and walk around with, whereas the modular gift shops, the things that they sell just go into the guests' inventory. I think that's how it works. Like, they can buy a baseball cap, but you don't see them wearing the baseball caps. But if they go to Hats Fantastic and buy a hat, they will wear it. So I think that's the definition there. So Just a Memento and the Hats Fantastic, the more traditional gift shops, I guess, for want of a better term, if they sell something, there's a possibility that they walk around with the thing. Whereas the modular gift shops, I think it just goes as an inventory item when they purchase it. I would love to see these as scenery items, because I would love to build a little cart that is sort of wheeled out at night time with all these sort of on. We've already done it with some balloons and some scenery pieces to make the look of these things, but now we're having them as actual pieces in the game. I would love to see these as pieces to use, but there's no mention of that in the update. That's just me wishful thinking. If it isn't in the update, Frontier, if you're watching, would love to see this get added in. These would be great as scenery pieces, please. Thank you. Love you. And then the last thing we see is a little bit of what I assume to be a teaser coming on 18th of June, a very much requested coaster type there, so we're excited to see more of that. So there you go, there's update 10. Not the biggest update. It's also coming with a pile of bug fixes, quality of life updates as usual. We haven't seen the notes for those yet, but I'm sure there's going to be lots of good stuff in there. But yeah, overall, not the biggest of the free updates, but small things that I think are actually going to be actually going to make a difference for me personally. The Vista points returning, and then the event points look very exciting. The tracks going over paths are very exciting. I'll always take new scenery and the new stuff that they can walk around with, and even the light up the entertainers, they look a lot of fun as well. So not as huge an addition as something like the arcades that we got, but overall just some nice new features. And I think for the most part these updates are more about getting like bug fixes and stuff out alongside the actual content heavy paid DLC that we'll look at later in the week. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like, it really helps out, and all the usual YouTube stuff. Till the next one, be good.